All right, welcome back. This part two here of historical drivers. We're going to talk about how to move them, which obviously is the most of what you're going to be doing with them. Let's look real quick. Here we got Jocelyn Rint on an even strategy card, and let's talk real quick about the strategy card. So you'll see that it is split up into parts. Each part is called a phase. And you always start at the top of the card, and that's basically what your guy's going to do off of the start line. And then you'll see these little notations in between the two different phases, and that's when you would move to the next phase. So in this case, once you're in or past the first corner, you're going to move to this phase, and then you'll do that phase until you're 2/3 of the way through your race, which in a 3-lap race is going to be at the end of lap 1, and then for the last third of the race, you'll do this part of the phase. And so this is how the historical drivers can modulate between spending more wear early in the race, or spending more wear late in the race, or doing something, and any kind of strategies in between. So actually, Rint's even strategy, his strategies tend to look relatively similar as he progresses through the race, but just a little different. So we're down here. Jocelyn Rint has just gone through the NGK chicane, second to last corner here at Nürburgring, and so his marker is up here. So every time you go past one of these blue steering wheels, to zoom in to see that it's a steering wheel. It looks a lot more like a steering wheel in the final production version, thanks to our fabulous graphic layout. And then you reset. So he just went through the corner. We've reset the marker because that little gray cube tells us which of these tactics we're going to use. So each phase has different tactics. In this case, he's got 3 choices. You'll have anywhere from 2 to sometimes 5. And so here we are. It's his turn to move. So we're going to roll some dice, and we got a 4. Okay, so perfect. So this is his strategy, his tactic, until he gets through the corner. So this is basically telling you how much wear he wants to spend in the upcoming corner. Well, sometimes you'll see there's just symbols. Basically, 1 circle is 1 wear, 2 circles are 2 wear, and that's going to be your most common set. Sometimes you'll see 3 circles that will involve either a chance roll or the use of a red skill. And you also see stars. So the star basically means I only want to spend the 2 wear if it's a really good idea, or one wear or whatever. So how do I then translate that to the track? And also, what's up with these brackets? So let's look at the brackets first. So in this case, the brackets, bracket basically means only pay attention to these symbols if that's true. So in this case, wear greater than C. C's kind of corners, kind of not. So we've got 14 wear left on Mr. Rint. So we go back here, and we'll see here, and unfortunately it's upside down for me right now, but we are last lap plus 2. So because we're not on the last lap, we're not on the second to last lap, we're on the third to last lap. So we're on this line here, and we'll see that C is equal to 13. Well, 14 is greater than 13, so we're going to use those symbols. So we're going to look for a double star. Now, so see, there is a double circle on the side of the track. So this is what you do. Then you compare your choices here to the choices for the space next to your car. So there is a double circle, but it's not starred. So we're not going to do that. So let's look for a 1 circle starred. Yes, there is. In fact, here we go, 100. So then we go down and we look at our speed and we go, okay, so we were going 120. Now we'll change that to 100. So now the car is going 100. And that was a legal move. If he had to decelerate or accelerate more than his stats, then we would have looked at this to see how we would have done that, or if we would have even tried to do it. You don't always end up at your target speed. So then we see this other symbol, the exclamation point, and we check if there's an exclamation point there and an exclamation point over here, then he might start at 120 instead of 100, and then either late brake or go through the corner faster. But the cars only do that if there's somebody next to them, and there's not. And there's not an exclamation point over there. So he doesn't do that. He's just going to go 100. So now we move him his 5 spaces, knowing that he wants to spend 1 wear. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1 wear. So he pays his 1 wear. And that gets him through the corner. So that's why that was starred. It's because it was 1 wear to get him through the corner at 100, which is better than 80 to the inside, because he's got this nice long straight he's got to deal with. So he went past another blue circle symbol, so we reset his strategy. Now when you reset his strategy, you also look, or tactic, you also look to see, hey, is it time for me to go to the next phase? And actually, this time it is, because this is the last corner in lap 1, and I said we were doing a 2-lap race. So we're going to go to this next strategy if we're in the second third of the race. Now, I know we haven't quite passed that symbol yet, so this little symbol tells us when we're going to do it, and there you'll see there throughout the track. There's another one there, and they're evenly spaced throughout the track. In this case, the next corner is going to be past that symbol, so we're going to switch. And the way I normally do that is I just kind of slide the card down so that it covers up the parts that I'm not using, and now I'm going to be on this tactic. So next turn, before Josh and Rint moves, we'll roll dice and reset his tactic. And he might be on that tactic for a couple turns, because it might take him a couple turns to get down to that first corner. And that's how we do it. I think it becomes relatively intuitive as you play with it some, but in this next video, Michael and I are actually going to do a race against 4 of these guys, and we'll see how we do. Thanks.